Hi everybody, we're headed to Huntsville, to GigaParts, and we're in Alabama.
All right, Sweet Home Alabama. Let's see what kind of gear we got going here. We got the 7,
Do you use that thing when you're shooting handheld?
Sometimes. Do you? I see too good. I'm not reaching my hand way over there. Somebody might look. You talking about the D-Hap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. D-Hap. Got the handy talkie. We got internet in the dash.
Stopped at a rest area a minute ago, and there was a security guard out there with a gun. But we were walking back to the truck, and he approached us.
Yeah.
But he saw the antennas up here on the roof, and he wanted to know if we were on shortwave radio. We told him ham radio, and he asked details. He was wondering about getting into amateur. He had been a truck driver. Had done CBs, but he was thinking about going back on the road, but he wanted to do it with him this time. I don't know anything else, and that's all I've got to say about that.
Spreading ham radio, even at the rest area.
Yeah, even at the rest area.
Well, here we are at GigaParts Day over here in Huntsville, Alabama. This is your second one, isn't it?
Yeah, second time to come to the store here. It's always a lot of fun. A lot of stuff in here, and I know you said you weren't going to buy anything today, but I think you're going to change your mind before we leave.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to resist. This is a very nice store. This is my first time over here. We come to Huntsville. My family lives here, and we come here quite often, but I've never actually been by. But I'm going to have to come make another trip.
Yeah, a lot of characters in here, too. Some of the manufacturer's reps, we're going to visit with them just a little bit and see what's been going on, see if there's any exciting new products out there.
Yeah, I saw our friend Ray Novak from Icom here, and saw Tom over there streaming W5KUB, and quite a few people here.
Yeah, got reps from Kenwood and Yeasu, too, and Emmett. I haven't seen Emmett yet. If you see a guy walking around with a kilt, though, from Radiowavz, he's here.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have the kilt on. He's out there at the tent with Richard from MFJ.
A little cold for a kilt today, I guess.
Yeah, did you bring yours?
No, I did not. My wife's wearing mine today.
Yeah, it's probably best that way.
It is, yeah.
All right, well, let's walk around here and see what we can find.
Okay. Richard, what's going on at MFJ?
Hey, George. It was kind of wild this morning. It was my first time to unload in the rain. We had a nice little rainstorm here in Huntsville, but it looks like the sun's going to come out and everything's going to be a beautiful day. We're here at GigaParts and showing off just a little bit of the stuff. You and I talked, and, showing MFJ is kind of tough because, we got so many products. And I think we thought maybe we had about 10% here, and you said probably less. But
yeah,
we got a lot of neat new things.
Well, I think you could take the whole store there, and you still couldn't hold all the MFJ products. There's just so many.
Yeah, the only way we really display just about everything is at Dayton, Ohio, and when you go there, you can actually see just about everything up. We put all the antennas up, and every little piece of equipment we try to get out there, but sometimes even tough to bring it to there. So,
well, how many Hamfests a year do you make it to? Any idea?
Well, this is not really a ham fest per se, but we do these store shows in Cincinnati and GigaParts here in Huntsville, and then AES next week at the Superfest in Wisconsin, and then HRO, and of course in Atlanta in December or November, I think they did, and then other than that, it's 20 some odd shows. I just got back from Rain, Louisiana. That was a fun. I just showed you the video of this Cajun music, and they served us crawfish. We have a lot of fun on these shows. It's a blast.
Yeah, I saw that when they had a live. I guess that was Zydeco music playing through the
I didn't know the technical term. I'm glad you told me. I keep going around saying this is Cajun folk music, but I guess that's sort of descriptive too. But I just like when they go woo-wee, and that kind of stuff. That's fun.
Yeah. That's when it starts getting good, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody was tapping their toes and walking around and picking up stuff, going, "Yeah, I want one of these," and it was a blast. And then they served us crawfish, and it was really a down-home bayou party down there. It was crazy. That was March 15th. I think they're going to do that every year. So it's about the size of Jackson, Mississippi Hamfest.
Cool. Yeah, it looked like a pretty nice facility they were in too.
Oh yeah, it was one of those big civic arenas, and it was the city of frogs, they called it. I guess back in the day, all the farmers, and it was a lot of wetlands, so the frogs would just be seen jumping up and down the street.
Wow.
So you go grab one and pick it up for dinner,
Yeah. So I know y'all are always working on new stuff over there, and I'm not going to ask you to reveal anything new, but are there new things we're going to be seeing this year?
Yes, sir. At Dayton, of course, we always try to bring a few new things, and Mr. Jew's cooking up some stuff. He's got some ideas and that he's turning into fruition, and they're coming. And we've got a few new things here today. Even we've got this tripod. We got the little power supply, of course, that you had, the little tiny 30 amp power supply. You've used this on your set.
That's the one Tommy likes so much.
Yeah. Well, now we added the power poles on here, so you actually got Anderson power poles on the front, and then of course. You playing around with the new 259C, which this one is going 530 kilohertz to 220 megahertz, 230 megahertz, excuse me. And so we're updating that. Hope to do the other one in the future too. Maybe y'all see that at Dayton. I don't know. That's a little iffy. We'll see what happens.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, of course we got the graphical analyzer that George said he's been playing with a lot, and it's fun. It's got all the wave patterns, the Visuar charts and things you can do on. Have you downloaded that stuff?
I have not downloaded the application yet. I have used the analyzer, and I really like the graph because you can just in an instant see what the bandwidth of that antenna is and where it's most resonant.
Rick Littlefield, one of our K1BQT, I think, something like that, up in New Hampshire, one of our engineers, he used that thing and showed me some full color charts, and they're really cool when they come out, and you got all the different green, blue, red lines on there, and it's really sharp. And then we've got this new pipe-to-pipe mount. I don't know, Tommy, if you can zoom in over here. This is where you can mount another antenna on top of your existing beam, or a vertical on top of another beam, or something like that. And then we've got this nice tilt over, which I think I showed this to you last year, George.
I believe it was here.
This is a really neat thing. I just pulled the screw out. Of course, you wouldn't want to do that at home, but it makes you be able to pull down a big vertical, easy by yourself.
Yeah, you had that mounted to the rear of the truck here last year, and we looked at that.
Our truck bit to dust, so I'm in a U-Haul this weekend. But, it happened 364,000 miles later. I've been traveling for 20 years now, and we've had, I think, 4 total trucks. Of course, we buy them used, from the Ryder and the U-Hauls and places like that, and then we run them till they're dead. Like Mr. Jew's car, he did that one time too. And then we got this new big tripod. I don't know if we can't really show it because it's on the outside, but this is a massive guy that will spread out huge. I think it was 8 square feet where you can spread out the legs. And the other neat thing is each leg is individually adjustable. So like if you're on a hill, you can adjust for that as well. So you can actually put up an antenna just about anywhere out in the field, and that's a lot of fun. But it's nice seeing you guys again too. I mean, I was thinking about you down there when I was in Louisiana eating them boudin balls. That was some pretty good stuff. You would have enjoyed that, and I think Peter should get a chance to eat one of those sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you told me what that was. I would try it, but just by the name, I don't know, man.
What they do is they take that boudin sausage, which is full of rice and veggies, and then the sausage, of course, and they put pepper jack cheese on the inside of it, mold it up into like a baseball-sized shape, and then drop that boy in the deep fryer. Like Tommy said, anything deep fried is good, right? You bite into that, it's just like, it's some heaven, I tell you.
All right. Well, Richard, it's good to see you. We're going to look around a little more here and see what else is going on. We may stop back by and check with you in a little bit.
All right,
see
make
how.
sure you grab some catalogs, George.
I will do, yeah. The new 2014.
Yes, sir. We're going to have another one at Dayton, too. We're planning a whole nother catalog because of all the new goodies that we were talking about, so that's going to be fun.
Cool. Good to see you.
All right, take care.
We ran into another friend here at GigaParts Ham Radio Day, Charlie from the Huntsville Hamfest. That's the world's friendliest Hamfest, right, Charlie?
Absolutely, world's friendliest, and we try to live up to that saying there. And if we get an opportunity, we'd sure like to prove it to you.
Yeah, well, we always try to make it. We enjoyed it the last couple of years when we came, and actually we've only been 2 years, so it's always a big time.
Oh, I'll tell you what, we're looking for a big show this time, and there's we've already I use the phraseology that the water's already warming up for the Huntsville Hamfest, and we got dealers that hadn't been there for a couple of 3 years that are trying to get back. We got dealers that are trying to expand. We got new dealers already, and we're looking for a huge ham fest, and we really do want to invite everybody to come to the Huntsville Hamfest, August 16th, 17th, at the Von Braun Center in Huntsville. It's all inside, air conditioned. Don't have to worry about the cold weather, hot weather, and we're looking, like I say, for a big show. So let me say this: that we have had one of our main hotels to close up this year. We don't know exactly why, but the Holiday Inn is not there anymore. So to those of you that have stayed in the Holiday Inn, you're going to have to try to make arrangements. Otherwise, go to our website, www.hamfest.org. We got 2 hotels. One of them is a 4-star hotel. The embassy that's actually attached to the Hamfest site really makes it convenient, and what a wonderful hotel that it is. And you don't even have to get outside. You can just walk right through an air-conditioned walkway and walk right into the Hamfest. And the other one is well within walking distance of the Huntsville Hamfest. It's the Spring Hill Suites. Both hotels have special prices and code words or letters for the Hamfest. So let me caution everybody to try to get in as early as you possibly can and get your arrangements made, because, like I say, this one is going to be a big one. We have been chosen by the ARRL to be one of the satellite activities for the 100-year centennial. Also, in conjunction with the Huntsville Hamfest, we're going to have the Global Amateur Radio Emergency Communication Group. Their conference will be here, and so that's international. And I tell you, man, we're all excited about it. It just looks like it's going to be a huge show.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. It always is a pretty big one, but it sounds like it's going to be a little bit extra big. And like he said, I encourage you to go ahead and make your reservations early so you don't have to try to stay far out.
Oh, absolutely. Do call, look on the website. We have links and places there. Of course, that's not the only 2 places in town to stay, fortunately. But do please make your arrangements as early as possible. And we appreciate everybody that comes to the Hamfest. I mean, we try to make it the world's friendliest Hamfest. We try to make it a good atmosphere that you have fun. That's the main thing about it, is to have fun, and incidentally maybe sell some ham radio equipment.
Yeah, well, it always is a lot of fun, and it is friendly. The venue's really nice there, and the hotel attached to it, you just can't really get much more convenient than that.
Well, we appreciate what you guys do for ham radio, and appreciate you coming to the Huntsville Hamfest. And we're again looking for a big show, and hopefully things will work out the way that we think that it's going to at the moment. I've been doing it, I don't know, several years, and but I already have a feeling that it's going to be bigger than it has been since I've been doing it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it will. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us today.
Well, thank y'all, and thank y'all for doing everything. Thank you, man.
And also over here at GigaParts, we ran into Phil Parton from Kenwood. Hi, Phil. Good to see you again.
Nice to be seen and not viewed, is the way I look at it. So nice to be seen.
What's been going on with Kenwood lately? Anything new? I know you got the new TS990 here. That's bound to have been working well for you.
It's been working very well. The 990 has outsold projections of our sales by probably 400% this year. It's been absolutely phenomenal and still hard to keep them in stock.
Wow, it's a really nice looking radio, and I see you have the back panel uncovered now so people can actually see the features that we've got.
You gotta love marketing gimmicks, right?
Oh yeah, well, and you know, we saw it early on, way before release, so I understand that things could change, but now they've been out in the field a while, and I've heard some of them on the air, and they do sound good.
They're doing a good job. Rod Sherwood's got it rated very well, and I think everybody that owns one's happy with it right now, which is pretty phenomenal. And yes, we do have new product coming out, but fortunately I can't talk about it just yet, so it won't be long though.
It won't be long. So will it be at Dayton this year?
No, we're looking at probably November sales. Dayton's going to be just a little bit early for us to show it this year.
Well, I understand you don't want to put something out there before it's not ready for prime time, and then, well, you never know. You want it to be what you're going to be selling.
Yeah, you want to keep the customer happy. Plus, if you launch something and start selling it before it's ready, it's just a lot of work. You got to take the radio back, and you got an upset customer with you. So we'd rather wait until the time's right. So.
Well, I know, you know, we've had a lot of new amateurs getting their licenses in the past couple of years. Do you see that translating into sales across the amateur radio world?
I do. Kenwood sales up last year. Now, March is our year end. Our fiscal year end for Japanese is in March. So Monday's my last day of the year. We were up double digits in sales last year, and we're up double digits in sales again this year.
Oh, that's great. And, you know, we got so many new people coming into the hobby now, and you know, they need a little help. They need to know how to get started, and we try to do that. But, you know, I'd encourage all the older hams out there, take these guys under your wings.
I think it's a great opportunity for us. I think that every ham out there needs to be an Elmer, if you will, right now. The thing is, people coming into the hobby right now aren't necessarily coming into the hobby because they're interested in radio. They've got another hobby that needs communications. We've got a big group of ballooners, a big group of the glider pilots using Kenwood APRS equipment. They could care less about the technicality of the radio as soon as they understand how to use it. So yeah, us as hams, we've got a lot of responsibility and a lot of new people to help out. So it's a good thing for everybody.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to us, and hopefully we'll be running into you in Dayton, if not somewhere else along the road.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm staying on the road right now. I just returned from IWC in Vegas. We're here at GigaParts at Huntsville. Next weekend, I think we'll probably both be at AES in Milwaukee. And then following week's National Association of Broadcasters. So I'll be back in Vegas again. So no rest for the weary.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
Yes, sir. Enjoyed it.
You just never know what kind of people are going to show up at an event like this. Look at these two characters over here. It's Ray and Tom, and they're on W5KUB right now, W5KUB.com, and they're, I don't know what they're talking about. We just kind of walked up in here, but we're not going to interrupt them. We'll let them go ahead, and we'll catch up with Ray here in just a few minutes. Well, we ran across another friend here at GigaParts. It's Dennis Motschenbacker from Yeasu. Hi, Dennis.
Hi, George. Good to be back here. I love coming to this place. It's a very friendly gathering. Not all the shows are this friendly, but the Southern folks show Southern hospitality when we come down here, so we're always glad to be here.
Yeah, we always like to drive over from Jackson too and visit. How have you been? How's things with Yeasu?
Yeah, things have been great. It's been really, really busy. We've been coming out with some new products over on the VHF side. We now have a digital product in the market using C4 FM technology that's been just getting ready to burst out. We're in our final stages of testing the repeater on it, and looks like it's going to be a winner.
Oh, that's a good deal. I see you've got a new HF rig we're standing right in front of. Is FTDX 3000?
Yes, we actually introduced the FTDX 3000 and the FTDX 1200. Like is kind of the tradition, when we introduced our FTDX 5000, that introduced a whole new series of receiver technology that put us right at the top of the list for performance. But there are a lot of people that didn't need all the features that were in the 5000, which had 2 separate receivers in it. So we came out with the 3000. It's been a real success. Obviously, the price is less, and that fit the need of a lot of hams who didn't need 2 receivers, who weren't really intense DXers and contesters. And then to take it one step further, we've also introduced the FTDX 1200, which they don't have a copy here, but the nice thing about the 1200 is it's our economical end of the product line, but it still has a band scope. So we're getting there for the needs of all the different financial levels of ham radio interest.
Well, radios have really changed in the last few years with software-defined radios and such. You're seeing band scopes on radios a lot more. You're seeing better noise reduction. Just the technology has really come a long way. There's still a lot of guys, though, that like to run old rigs. Do you hear from any of them that that's not a radio, it's digital?
Yes. One of my favorite groups is there are still thousands and thousands of FT101 series radios that are on the air all over the world. And there's a lot of those fans who are now, have one of these, but they didn't sell their FT101. There are so many of them, seriously, that come to me and say, couldn't you guys, you know how popular it was, couldn't you just take that box and drop one of these in it? We would buy those like crazy. So it's a real intense group that's out there. But yeah, the company has made a commitment to continuing the traditional type of amateur radio appearance with the big knob, that Yeasu knob that's world famous. And in essence, these are SDR radios, if you think about it. In the box, it's there. That the radio has all the technology that is in the SDR radio, just applied in a different manner. So it's interesting. We're not ready yet to come out with a black box. Who knows if it's in our future? But we still find that the majority of the people are interested in grabbing that big knob up front.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, most of these now are taking advantage of SDR technology, and why wouldn't you? But you still got the analog feel to it.
Yes, absolutely right. So it is fun though to see with the new screens and all that. Who knows where that's all going to go in the years to come with touch screens and all of that. We've already have touch screen in our VHF, UHF. Now mobile radio has a screen that has touch screen capabilities in it. So it's been pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's a good deal. So if we move on down this direction down here, you mentioned a minute ago that Yeasu has entered the digital voice. I guess digital voice. I suppose you do data as well. So you've got a new rig on display here, and I guess what is this, the repeater as well?
Yeah. This is the repeater, the mobile and the handheld radios that came out. We call them digital radios, but they also do conventional FM. And that's probably what differentiates us from some of the others that are out there, is our radios will do both. And that's because we employ something called automatic mode select, where the radio can determine what it's receiving and make the conversion so that we call that friendly, if you would, FM friendly. Same thing with our repeater that will be introduced into the market here very, very shortly. In replacing an existing repeater, it can be plugged in right in place. All the existing thousands and thousands of loyal Yeasu customers who purchased typical conventional FM will still be able to use that repeater. The new people who have purchased a radio that will do C4 FM digital, they'll be able to use that as well, and they can also talk to the conventional. Yeah. So they don't lose any friends.
Do you see digital modulation as being the future of amateur radio, or do you think it's just going to be another mode that we've got?
At this time, it's our opinion that analog FM is going to be around for a long, long time. Now, digital does offer some opportunities, and that's not to be ignored. The passing of data and the digital voice, which is can be a better quality, but the possibilities are I think we're just touching it. Now, with our our digital radio, we are introducing a microphone that has a camera in it. So a person can take a picture, like let's say a first responder or somebody who's part of an emergency response group, can go to a scene, take a picture of why it is that they're there, and send it back to others who are using this type of radio, and they can see the situation. So that's probably just the beginning of the kinds of things that will be available with it. We chose to go with 12.5 kilohertz. So did I say that right? Yes, I did. 12.5 kilohertz, so that we can pass data and pass it fast. We elected not to go narrow.
Yeah, I know there's a big controversy between some groups on the bandwidth that's being used by this technology. I mean, that's, I don't really follow that. I mean, well, I guess I follow it. Yeah, it's nice to use less data, but then you're capping yourself a little bit as to your capabilities. But I believe you're right. We're just starting to see some of the things that digital is going to bring to us. We won't know for years. It's just too many.
Oh, it is. And I was so anxious for this to get out because, the company will do its own development of certain products, but what'll be fascinating is what the hams will dream up to do with this, or how to apply this stuff. That's the really important thing, is how will the amateur radio community take that camera, and what sort of useful things will they come up? And I think we can't imagine all the useful things that the amateurs will find for our products as we go forward in this. So it's a very exciting time for us.
Well, one other final question I've got here, and I asked this to Phil over here with one of your competitors a minute ago. We've had a lot of new amateurs being licensed in the last 2 or 3 years here. Do you see that as translating into sales across the board for amateur radio? Does the hobby seem more vibrant now than it has for a number of years, or do you think it's pretty level?
I think we're finding it fairly level. However, there are certain segments of the market that have seen rise. Certainly a lot of these new amateurs that are coming in initially are coming in as a result of search training or something to do with emergency response. Of those, some of them have got that, what I call the broken gene, like I have, and they're going to find interest in DXing. They're going to find interest in HF, shortwave, if you will, in that sort of stuff. But certainly in that particular piece of the market, which translates to UHF, VHF, mobiles, and handhelds, that market is very, very healthy, and I'm proud to say that we still have a significant, if not the majority, portion of that market coming to us. So it's been real pleasing for me. Before I was with Yeasu, I was with the ARRL, that's their sales and marketing manager. So I was intimately familiar with the numbers of amateurs and the demographics and all that. And that was helpful coming over here to understand what was going on. And so, yes, we find it healthy. We can see it. We can see it not across the market, but we can see it and feel it just like the ARRL does, I'm sure.
Yeah. Thanks for talking with us, Dennis. And we look forward to, I guess we'll see you in Dayton.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll be there, have a very large display for people to come over and become familiar with our digital products.
All right. You have a safe trip back home.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And I got one more guy here to talk with. This is George Howard from GigaParts. George, good to see you. Appreciate y'all having us over.
It's good to see you. Thanks for coming out.
How's the crowd been this year?
Well, it's been real good. I think we're doing better than we were last year. It's our third year performing this event, and we're really excited to have you guys here.
Yeah, I was here last year. I can tell you, definitely big crowd this year.
It's actually my first year being able to attend, so it's very exciting for me, and it's wonderful to see so many hams coming out for something other than the Huntsville Hamfest in this area. So very exciting.
So what's new at GigaParts? What have y'all recently brought in, or you got something new coming down the road here?
We have a lot of very exciting things going on, but I think that the most exciting thing that I have to announce is that later this year we have a change coming to the way that we perform our sweepstakes. As everybody knows, we give away a lot of radios, And we've been giving away a lot of radios for a lot of years. And one of the things that we are trying to do is make everybody a winner. So rather than just having one winner every few months, we're wanting to make everybody a winner. And internally, our sweepstakes team has been devoting some time to going over how we could do that. And we've been looking at data that we've collected over the past decade and looking at how many hams are entering and how often they're entering the sweepstakes and then performing in the bonus question. And I'm sure you're familiar with how that works, and most of our viewing audience is familiar with how that works, where you enter our sweepstakes and then you answer a bonus question, and you can do this each day, and that gives you 2 entries in our sweepstakes per day. And we've looked at this data, and what we found is that most of the folks who are doing this each day, and they've been doing it for many years. And what we'd like to do is reward those people that are doing this on a regular basis in a way other than just giving them a chance to win that big radio. And so what we've done is we've put together a foundation for a program where they're going to be able to earn points as they go through and do this. And that's going to do things like give them GigaParts gift cards. Maybe give them a chance to get hats along with their orders and things of that nature. Get an Amazon gift card, things of that nature as they build up points over time. And on launch of this program, we're hoping to be able to reward for past performance.
Oh,
So
great.
would that not be neat? If you've been entering the sweepstakes for 12 years and you've got 2,000 entries in the sweepstakes, here's some Giga cash, here's some Amazon cash. And there's quite a few folks who've got thousands of entries out there, and we would love nothing more than to be able to just come right out and say, here you are, you've got all this stuff, here's some money.
Well, that sounds like a good plan there. So you're not just entering for our chance to win a prize that a lot of folks are also trying to win. You're actually going to get some bonus points out of it as well.
That's right. And we haven't developed all the details of the program, and more importantly, we don't have all the programming done behind it, and that takes a little bit of time. We have to finish the details of the program and turn it over to our programming team, but we're really hoping to have it done by Christmas and have it in beta somewhere around the time for the Huntsville Hamfest. That's our goal. We're going to solicit some feedback from our customers. We're going to look at it internally some more with the employees, but that's my big news. It's something that's near and dear to my heart. I really want to do more to engage the folks who are out there entering our sweepstakes every day. It's important to me. Giving away radios is something that I love, and giving stuff away is something that I love, and giving away more would be wonderful. So that's my big news.
Well, we hope you can get that through the powers that be and come up with a great promotion here. Who's this guy we've got sitting over here? It's kind of, I don't know, he looks kind of like he's been watching us here. Like, make sure we don't do anything wrong.
Carl Jordan, KJ4RYP. He's one of our CSRs. He's been with us for several years. I don't know that I introduced myself properly. I'm George Howard, NW4G. I'm the Amateur Radio Division Manager. I've been here since day one, and that's, I don't know how many years now, 15 or 16. Carl, how long have you been with us? Scoot in so we can see you.
I honestly don't remember. I think 4 years. I think I'm at 4 years by now.
So Carl works in our customer service division, primarily on the phone. He also answers and responds to tickets, maybe some web chats here and there. So
And some of the marketing,
does some
product,
marketing stuff, some of the graphics work.
photos, yeah.
Yeah, I know when I call over here, a lot of times he must answer the phone too.
Absolutely. Carl's one of our primary folks answering the phone. So if you call into GigaParts, there's a very good chance that Carl will be the guy that says hello.
Yeah, we've known Carl for a while, and we've had him on the show a time or two. He doesn't mind. He'll come right on in front of the camera with no problems at all.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what's big at GigaParts? Let's say for the past year or so, what does it look like people are interested in these days? Is it antennas? Is it radios? Is it computers, or is it just about the same on everything?
Well, I can tell you that computers and amateur radio are equal parts of our business. They're both as big. we sell about as much radio stuff as we do computer stuff. And we have about an equal number of radio employees as we do computer employees. We have computers, computer service, and amateur radio are about equal parts of our business. As far as the amateur radio world, which your viewers are probably primarily interested in, all things are big. We really sell a lot of stuff, and for us, really everything is moving. This year has been a big year for amateur radio for us. Yeasu is big, Kenwood is big, Icom is big. The MFJ product lines have been huge for us this year. MFJ has just been unbelievable. They came down this weekend and they brought a whole entire big, humongous long truck and repacked our warehouse with it. Radiowavz stuff has been absolutely phenomenal. We have been blowing that stuff out of here. That's a fantastic product line. If you're interested in wire antennas, man, buy some Radiowavz stuff. I'm telling you, that is some great product. I believe you featured some of that on your show, and that is some great stuff. I've got 3 Radiowavz antennas on my 5 acres, and I'm very happy with them. They've been up for 2 years, and I know that many viewers know that keeping wire antennas up for 2 years up in 70-foot tall pine trees can be a challenge.
Yeah, Tommy back here, he's been having some trouble with his wire antennas. He wants to know if you have any squirrel-proof rope.
Squirrel-proof rope. I use Mastrant rope. Carl's got some Mastrant rope right here. And this is the rope that I prefer. That's the rope that I use. That
is really heavy. We gave some of this away on a contest. I guess the last contest we did with y'all and Icom and MFJ and everybody.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I've got my Radiowavz antenna up in my trees with. That's what I guy everything with. That is the rope that I use. I don't necessarily use this heavy gauge of it for everything. I've used the lighter gauge for most of my stuff, but yep, that's good stuff.
Stays out okay in the sun and the weather.
It does, and I've had squirrels mess with it, and for the most part, everything stays up.
All right, George. Well, I appreciate you talking with us.
Yeah, sure thing.
And congratulations on a great ham radio day here at GigaParts. We'll be back over here during the Huntsville Hamfest and spend some more time with you in your other store, the Huntsville Hamfest.
Well, it'll be exciting to talk to you at the Huntsville Hamfest. I'll be sure to come see you.
All right.
Man, we've ran into a lot of friends here at the GigaParts Ham Radio Day. And here's another one, Ray.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be on that friend list.
Yeah, you're on the friend list.
Oh, very good, very good. Hi, George, and everybody out there at AmateurLogic.TV.
So how things been going?
Going pretty good. Been getting a lot of questions about the direction that we're going with all the touchscreen, why not color, the 5100, why Android, not iOS. So it's been very interesting.
Yeah, the 5100, that's pretty exciting. I guess that's the newest model of radio you got out now, right?
Not out yet. We're still waiting on FCC certification today, but we'll hopefully have something in the very near future. And then George will be visiting with us, and we'll be doing that one against the other type interview again.
Oh, another SmackDown.
Yes, sir, another SmackDown. But I think this time George is going to want the touchy radio.
Yeah, well, he came out, I'm not going to say he came out on the short end of the stick last time, but I was clearly the winner.
I agree with you, but you know that you got him because every time I see him, he's always justifying, I like that color display much better.
Yeah, I kind of noticed the same thing. On the way over here, I heard that about 4 times.
Yeah, what I'm also curious about is that 7700 he's got. 3 days ago, we released a new firmware update that really changed that radio, and hopefully he'll show this is what it looks like now, and then you push these buttons, this is how you do it, and make it all happen. But do you think he'll get on the air with it?
Yeah, I think he probably will. Man, what's that?
Color display.
Color display.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, color display on that one, too.
Yeah, that was quite the firmware update, man. I saw the list of that, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, for years people have been asking when's Icom going to do an SDR-type radio, and when you can completely blow in firmware and change the OS of the radio and what all the functionality it can do, then you're right there in the SDR world. And when you guys did the demonstration of the RSBA1 software, you know how much of a pain it was to have a computer right there at the radio?
Yeah. I saw that feature on the list.
But the 7700 now has a server built in, so it's like there's a PC inside that radio.
Yeah.
You think you're going to get him out of the shack after that?
Probably not. I hope I can at least get him over to the green screen once a month so we can shoot the show.
That'll be good. Now, George told me that you were going to sing the theme song.
Yeah, that's coming up here shortly.
All right.
Yeah, about the time the battery dies on the camera.
Yeah. I know that feeling. They were trying to get me for the other show to dance because the guy that won the 7100 was in the chat room, and I'm like, no one wants to see the dancing panda.
Yeah, I saw Richard and the guys from MFJ and them over there singing earlier.
Yeah, and the thing about it, there was no alcohol involved.
Yeah, go figure, huh?
Yeah, and I don't think I'd do that.
So what's the hot item for Icom these days? I know the new radio is coming out soon. What's the big seller? What's all the buzz?
Well, the buzz has been basically what we're doing with the 5100 because there's so much different in that radio. We've led up to the user interfaces with the 31 and the 51, but now with the 5100, we've taken that near repeater functionality from D-Star, and it's now going to do it for the analog repeaters. The only problem is who's going to have that database that'll have all the accurate GPS locations. So once you get your location, you say near me, and then you'll see the listing of analog as well as digital repeaters around you.
Oh, that's kind of a game changer right there. That's a pretty nice feature. I'd like to have that a long time ago.
But there again, you've enjoyed that feature on your 51, haven't you?
Oh, I love that, man. I use it all the time.
But that answers that, well, why not are they going to do it for analog? So that's going to be a fun thing.
Yeah, George and I wrote a program one time way back that you put the repeaters in and the coordinates, and it drew it on the map, and you used the mouse and you drove where you were on the map, and it gave you a list of repeaters. So we were probably the ones that patented that. Well, we didn't patent it, but we were the first inventors of that technology.
Well, you guys should have done something with that because then I'd have to be sending you radios.
Yeah, man. I guess next time we come up with an idea, we're going to have to follow through with it a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't think a call sign written on a napkin on the table is going to cut it.
No, that's not going to cut it.
Especially if it's got a WH on that napkin.
So I'm sure you'll be back over here for the Huntsville Hamfest, right? And then I know we'll see you in Dayton.
Yeah, I'll be at Dayton. I'll be here for the Huntsville Hamfest and then Field Day. I'm actually going to be back in the state of Mississippi with the group Northeast Mississippi Radio Association, I think is it. NIMRA is what they call themselves. We're going to be doing Field Day from their EOC.
Oh, that'll be fun. I'm not sure quite what we're going to do yet. We've been talking about going back out and having another expedition out in the woods like we did before.
Oh, that's good. That's always fun.
Yeah, feed the mosquitoes.
Yes. But you guys could come up. I'm going to be shipping in some radios for us to play with, so that will always be fun.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to chat about that and see. Maybe we might do that. We'll see.
Oh, very good.
Anyway, it's always good to see you. Appreciate you being on.
Excellent seeing you guys, and good to talk to folks from where I grew up. So thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
And after much looking around, I finally found Emmett Hohensee from Radiowavz. Hi.
How you doing?
Doing fine. So you drove down from St. Louis?
Yes, we did. It was a nice drive, too, finally, except for Nashville, but that's another story.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what's Radiowavz got new? I know you're bound to have been working on something since we last spoke.
Well, the one thing that we did is we've upgraded what we call our Hyper Hanger, which is an antenna installation tool. We call it the Hyper Hanger Mark II, mainly because it's got more balls to it. And we're also using an open face reel. It's a little bit longer, so you actually get a little bit more distance out of it. You get 3 balls with the unit. And the balls themselves are weighted with a silicone material inside. So if you get hit in the head with it, you're not going to get knocked out or have a permanent mark in your forehead. Also, if it gets stuck in a tree, it's not going to wrap around the limb and get stuck up there permanently. And if it falls into the branches and the trees and stuff like that, you'll be able to see them. See it a lot better. And also dogs love it too. And I'm trying to think of a couple of the other things we've got. I think last year we introduced our Patriot series, which is it's a adjustable coil type antenna where, for instance, if you live in an apartment complex, or even if you wanted to go mobile, but mainly for apartment complexes, emergency services and stuff like that, with just a 102-inch whip, this coil, which is the 160-meter version, will allow you to do 160 meters. But be careful with that, because you know what happens when you have such a short antenna with that type of that frequency. It could be quite shocking if you get too close.
What kind of ground system do you need with that?
Definitely need to put together a simple ground radial system, 4 or 5 wires out about anywhere between 33 feet. If you can do it a little bit longer, attach it to a good metal surface is also a good ground plane for it. Just start thinking AM radio station when you start, creating your ground plane for that type of an antenna. But for the most part, like I said, you could hook it up to your balcony, tilt it at a little bit of an angle, and you can pretty much work, a lot of different places with it.
Well, what else? What else? I know you got something else here I haven't seen before.
Oh, what's that? Oh, you mean a rocket stove? Yeah. It's kind of a different. It's kind of a little. How do I say it? Detour off the path of what we normally do. But one of the things, I do a lot of hunting, fishing, and stuff like that. And one thing that you'd always like to have when you're in the out in the blind or something like that is something to warm you up a little bit. Well, one of our products now is a rocket stove, where you can actually literally cook a meal on just twigs, which is kind of neat. What basically happens is your normal fire, most of the heat just goes up into the air. But what we've designed is we've just set it up to where, as the fire burns, it creates more heat, which basically creates like a catalytic converter on your car. Any available gas becomes ignited and creates more heat, so you don't need as much fuel. So with just a small amount of fuel, which you can find just about anywhere, you're able to, cook a meal, warm up a space, boil water or whatever.
That's pretty neat.
We've had some really interesting reviews on it so far, which is a good thing, and it's a promising product, but it's not necessarily for the amateur market. But for field day emergencies and stuff like that, we've got another version of this, which is about the size of a paint can, that you can take with you anywhere. So as long as you've got twigs or even paper, you're able to create heat. See, one of the things we're doing this year that we're really pushing hard on is basically upgrading your G5 RV.
That's a good thing to push for.
What we're looking at doing is, the idea is basically, a G5 RV is a good antenna, don't get me wrong, but the thing is it's not a really resonant antenna in any frequency. So what we're looking at doing is suggesting getting something like an off-center fed, where it's resonant on multiple frequencies. Quite often you generally do not have to use an auto coupler on, let's say, 80, 40, 20, and 10. So, between something that's almost resonant on multiple frequencies versus something that's not resonant, most people who aren't engineers can pretty much figure out that, you're going to get a lot more out of your antenna, if you have a resonant antenna. Plus, you can hear more, and you can transmit more efficiently. And then also, we have the short versions of everything, where basically, for instance, on the 80-meter off-center fed, if you have 66 feet, you can put an 80-meter off-center fed antenna in your backyard.
How many feet did you say?
66, or actually 67. And basically we use a loading coil to basically shorten the long leg of the antenna, so you can basically fit it in a 66-foot lot.
Yeah, my son is working in sort of an antenna restricted situation now. I may have to talk with you about this some more.
Anytime. I'll be more than happy to help you out. But one of the biggest things that we've seen is the need for, I want to work 80 meters, I only have X feet. And I forget who it is I had spent some time with. He basically showed me some statistics that the average lot in the United States is 66 feet. So what we ended up doing is we came up with an antenna that would fit in that lot.
Good idea. Well, Emmett, we appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you very much. It's good seeing you again, and you guys have a great day. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you in Dayton, I'm sure.
Most definitely. I'm looking forward to it. Come by and visit us, all right?
73.
All right, 73, sir.
We ran into Tom, W5KUB. You guys know him. He's you see him, his broadcasts on a lot of the ham events all over the country. How you been?
I've been doing okay. We really enjoyed the show today. We came down in the rain, but hey, there was a lot of people here. We had a good time. We had a lot of viewers on our webcast.
Yeah, I know you've had quite a crowd over here. People walking up and watching as well.
Yeah, a lot of, as much as I think we're known out there, a lot of people still don't know what we do, but a lot of people are learning, and they're catching on, and they're picking their card up and tuning in, and you probably saw in your Facebook groups, we kind of post a notice, when we go to places on your Facebook group, because you've got such an audience out there, and we want you guys to do the same on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we've done that some, and anyway, yeah, appreciate the offer to do that. So what do you guys got going new? I think I heard you earlier mention maybe you got some new gear getting ready for Hamvention.
Yeah, we've got some new ingenious 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi equipment, and actually, what we do, we put a dedicated a 5 gig link in between our internet connection and our cart here, and the antennas here have like 13 gain each. They're very directional. It's a high power unit, and with the 5 gigahertz, we can usually maintain a very good connection. In Dayton, you can't do a 2.4 gig internet connection. A Wi-Fi connection. It just doesn't work there. You can't get more than about 10 feet away from your access point. But so far, not many people are on 5 gigs, and we've been able to go 200 or 300 feet. In the previous years, and with this new linking gear, we're hoping to extend that out to maybe 500 feet or 600 feet, and we hope we'll be able to get into some of the other buildings. We're going to have to maybe go through one wall, but into the next buildings, but we think we'll be able to greatly extend our range. And we're having a satellite internet installed again this year to get us back to the web.
Okay, that's through Exceed?
Yeah, it'll be through Exceed.
Okay, well, it sounds like you're getting bigger and better every year.
Well, we try to be. When we first started, it was very crude, and we've improved our microphones, and we've added mixers and different things, and it's coming along pretty good over the years, and it's getting a lot better. It's a big job, and I know you guys, we were talking earlier, it's a big job. You need more than 2 people to do what you guys do or what we do.
Yeah, it's pretty time consuming. Yeah. I don't know if you remember, but we stopped by your booth when you guys were outside at the Hamvention. That's probably been maybe 6 or 7 years ago, Jimmy and I.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, you come a long way since, and your broadcast is really popular. Doing a nice job on it.
It was probably raining then. I don't know. It probably doesn't.
It was dry. We were burning up. I wish it probably would have rained. It might have been better off.
Yeah. Well, but we've had a good time there at Hamvention. We were outside for about 33 years. We moved inside last year. We'll be inside, from now on, I guess, as long as I can come up here. So it's a lot nicer being inside than outside, believe me.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, we won't keep you. I know it's getting kind of late and everything. But just want to stop by and say hi and see what was new with you.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Tommy and George, for coming by and saying hello. And we'll see you up at Dayton, I guess. Will be probably the next place we cross tracks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.